Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Ambassador's Lounge. Today we'll be discussing a topic which has been previously also talked about, the famous Board of Peace, a new board which has emerged after the ceasefire in Gaza, though it is not a ceasefire yet. Israeli atrocities are still continuing. Board of Peace, basically, I just want to, talk about the way it was started, what it comprised of. The first meeting in January in Davos, the American President Donald Trump announced its outline. He, the President himself, is the chairman of this Board of Peace. And the next year comes as the founding executive board, in which his favorite son-in-law, Jared Kushner, Marco Rubio, and Tony Blair are the members. And the next year, which comes, is the Gaza Executive Boards, which comprises of Palestinian technocrats. And strange enough, the people for whom all this has been shown as the Palestinian Authority President, Mahmoud Abbas, or the other stakeholder, Hamas, they were not even invited to attend this. And this is a dilemma and a real unfortunate story. After that, another Board of Peace meeting was held yesterday, February 19th, in which 20 world leaders participated, including our Prime Minister, who could be seen in the last row of the picture. During this speeches and all, US announced a commitment of $10 billion, though the details are yet to come from where this will be coughed up by the American government or the World Bank or the IMF. We don't know the details yet. And they got commitments also of $7 billion by some Gulf states, Kazakhstan and Morocco. As done in the past also, so many pledges are done, and then when things move, then the picture clears up. And there is another board of structure which basically will be doing the oversight and stability in Gaza. So these are the general outlines of the Board of Peace we've been talking about. Along with me is my colleague, Ambassador Riyaz Hussain Bukhari, and Ambassador Amjad Ali Sher. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I'm sure you know the background and all. So I'll be starting basically with the question with Amjad. Amjad, do you think was the Board of Peace meeting in Washington a genuine diplomatic initiative to bring peace in Gaza, or a strategic rebranding of power politics?
Well, thank you, Ambassador Tanveer. The first inaugural meeting of the Board of Peace was hosted by President Trump in Washington, D.C. Yesterday, 19th February, and in which 20 countries, as you have rightly mentioned, and these country members are from the Middle East, from the Caucasus, from South Asia, Latin America, and Europe, some parts of Europe, they like Hungary, and they all participated in this meeting. The very purpose of this was first the approval of the charter. The details have not yet come out. I think President Trump in his inaugural address thanked all the member countries and for coming to Washington for the inaugural ceremony. And there were some funds approved by the member countries. Although the intentions of the Board of Peace are quite admirable in the sense that they are going to reconstruct the Gaza Strip, which was destroyed during the 2 years bombardment by the Israeli forces. But the thing is, and ironically, that the very purpose of this meeting was to reconstruct the Gaza Strip, the Palestinian territory. And of this reconstruction initiative, Israel is also a member, which is responsible for the destruction of Gaza. This is a straight question. Now there are certain critical points for Pakistan. The first point is that, is this going to be a quieter endorsement by Pakistan to sit in the same room, in the same meeting with Israel? Is this going to be an initiative by Pakistan to endorse for normalization of its relations with Israel? Second is that, will Pakistan send troops? Because the charter of the BOP is to also provide some troops to the International Stabilization Force, and the International Stabilization Force very aim is to disarm the Hamas and to protect the civilians. But in case this International Stabilization Force is going to be under the United States military general. All these things for Pakistan, these are quite, certain some points that has yet to be sorted out, that whether we will be in a position to send troops to as part of the International Stabilization Force, in which Israel will also be there, and have to work with Israel in the sense that they have to seek, and seek the advice and also consultation with Israel over this International Stabilization Force. This is first thing. Secondly is that will Pakistan be willing to also give $1 billion, an amount for which Pakistan is now, trying and requesting the World Bank for $1 billion, and IMF for $1 billion loan to support its economy. The other thing is, most important, is that the initiative, as you have rightly pointed out, is no doubt is good, that to protect the civilian life and to give Palestinians a safe security and safe environment. But at the same time, in this, as you have mentioned it, that there is no participation from the Palestinian Authority, nor from Hamas, and there is no representation of the Palestinians. So there are many points which needs to be clarified.
Okay. Amjad, thank you. I think we'll cover other aspects also as we move along. Riaz, once we discuss, I think we'll add up things. Riaz, if you think if peace was the objective, where were the key regional stakeholders most directly affected by the conflict in this whole gambit?
Yeah. Thank you, Tanveer. My answer to your first question is a big no. Because Trump administration has launched this, initiative of Board of Peace, not as a diplomatic initiative to address the larger issue of Palestinian problem, but they are taking Gaza as a real estate issue. If it were a diplomatic initiative, they could have involved, the representative of Palestinian people under the same table where other 20 countries were also represented. There was none from Palestine. And then it is basically President Trump's initiative, where he is the main focus of all these the debates and meetings, and he will collect the money, he will spend the money, and we will have the main power of saying no. There is no involvement as such
The veto powers.
of the UN system in the whole the BOP proceedings. And then if you just go by the presentation made during the meeting yesterday, there was no mention of the Palestinian people killed due to excessive use of force by the Israeli forces.
Rather, the right of self-determination.
Exactly. And there is no mention of two-state solution of this problem. There is no mention of of any accountability of the forces
IDF.
which killed a large number of people. In fact, if you just go by the report of UN Human Rights Organization based in Geneva, it was published yesterday that in Gaza and other parts of Palestine, the whole policies of Israel are aimed at ethnic cleansing. So it is not a diplomatic initiative at all. Rather, it is the whole procedure, the whole game, the whole apparatus revolves around the personality of President Trump.
Okay. Coming over to you, Amjad. Does the creation of a new peace structure signals frustration with the existing international institutions?
Well, thank you. There is no doubt that United Nations Security Council in November 2025 had in a resolution 2803 had approved the establishment of this board of peace, and there were certain points that there is going to be a stabilization force for a period of 2 years up to 2027. It is going to reconstruction of the Gaza, and also protection of the civilian lives and protecting the borders of Gaza.
Does it cover the whole Gaza or a certain area?
The Gaza and the West Bank both. Okay. So, but at the same time, now it is as President Trump in one of his speeches to the press has said that the United Nations has never lived up to its potentials. And now this is going, it means that he was criticizing the United Nations for, for not coming to the end, performing its duty to protect the lives. So in many critics, especially the EU foreign policy chief has also criticized this BOP, that it is going to be a rival to the United Nations, as a body, and it is not going to and it is going to take over the UN. And if you see the United Nations, its own performance, it has withdrawn from over 60 UN organizations.
US has withdrawn.
Yes, withdrawn. So that is why I think Trump has no liking for the UN performance.
But that is one issue, and moreover, Israel itself does not, listen to any of the peacekeeping or other. We have seen what they have done in Golan Heights or in Lebanon, everywhere.
Exactly.
So they are the gangsters in the town.
and Israelis had the full support and backing of the United Nations, United States.
Yeah, okay. Riaz, can the reconstruction in Gaza proceed with a clear uh, political aim?
Yes, with a clear political aim, but of Israel. As you know, only yesterday, the Prime Minister of Israel said that there will be no further development in Gaza till Hamas formally surrenders all weapons. So till that is achieved and the full, the objectives of the state of Israel are not achieved, I don't think there will be any reconstruction activity to be launched by Bob. Because there, the chief, which is the President Trump, he has the powers to say, even to reject any proposal, even approved by the executive board of the Bob. So there are, many ifs and buts in this whole process. So I don't see any development taking place till, the issues of, surrender of Hamas are settled.
And even Hamas has also put up some conditions. One is that interim government in Palestine, first there should be an interim government in Palestine. Second is that peace force should stay on the borders and there should be no interference in the internal affairs of the Palestinian. So these are, and the West Bank, and Gaza and West Bank. So these, until these conditions are also met by Hamas, Hamas is not going to surrender.
So we are looking forward to something else in the region.
I think.
Okay, Amjad, can this bid, whose legitimacy is contested by the foundation of the durable peace, it is contested, so what do you say about that?
Well, I think many countries, so far as you have mentioned, that 20 countries have participated in this, and the major European powers like UK, France, Germany, and also many other countries have not participated. So it means that it is not going to work without the international support.
And Riaz, this even Trump claimed the war in Gaza is over for that for them, and calls for ongoing violence as little flames. They are not really treating it.
Yeah.
We did not see any in all this process any accountability, as we discussed before also, about Israel, and especially idea what the atrocities they have carried out. What do you say about that?
As far as the Board of Peace is concerned, they are not bothered about how many Palestinians have been killed over there. But the President Trump, as he mentioned, the amount so far pledged or collected, it is closer to $18 or $20 billion. So the whole amount will be spent on Gaza or any other thing which would be decided by the Board of Peace. It will have the final approval of President Trump. So as I say, everything is surrounded by one man, President Trump.
One man show.
Who is I would say who succeeded in contesting the election of the presidency of the United States through sheer use of media and marketing, and he has excellent record in this. So starting or initiating a separate proposal to under his supervision, the basic objective is to present himself as a man who can work for peace, who can deliver. It is all his personality.
And okay, you had discussed in the past also, we were talking about the video which was being played during the meeting, in which the whole blame was placed on Hamas.
Yeah.
And there was no mention of IDF, which has been seen by the whole world, what the atrocities they have carried out there, and killing, and especially killing of the children, almost one generation has gone, and which is still continuing. So, don't you see there's a clear-cut bias against the Palestinians or Ghazians, per se, and which is, for that matter, if you look at the whole picture, as you said in the past, previously also, it looks like more of a real estate project, and the kind of money they're talking about, this much of funds will be generated on the coastline or whatever, projects which they will crystallize later on. But whatever is going on right now, it shows a clear picture that it's a real estate thing. They are not bothered about the killings or the Palestinian people. So it is more of a corporate project.
Yeah. It is, a number of people, and there are certain reports, published in the media as well, that the choice contractors have been engaged to undertake certain projects in Gaza, in the education sector, in the health sector, as well as, establishing new military bases or police stations, something like that, or police training schools. So, already, the concerned people have started engaging the contractors. So, as I said earlier, they are taking it as a real estate project, because one of them has said that it is worth $60 billion or $70 billion. So, they are working on that direction. They have no regard as such that how to address
of the human
issues,
sufferings.
the suffering, caused to the people of Gaza and other Palestinians at the hands of IDF. They don't discuss that. And in fact, they are blaming Hamas for everything. Even, Mr. Victor said in his statement yesterday, and in fact, in his speech, that he took certain, the people from Israel to the White House for a meeting with President Trump, who were, relatives of certain hostages. They have high regards about the hostages and their families, but they don't even discuss those people who lost their lives during the last 2.5 years.
So they're playing that card, basically.
Yes.
And
yes,
secondly, that it is estimated to be a $70 billion, project in reconstruction of Gaza. The amount is going to be some portion from the member states, but rather major portion is going to be given by the Arab states. And all the contracts are going to be taken over by the US, Americans, and the labor is going to be provided by the Asian and African and other countries. So as Ambassador Riaz has pointed out, that it is in fact a real estate project. And Marco Rubio has also said that it's going to be a Riviera, and it means that it's going to be a more of a tourist destination.
Attraction.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. You like to add something?
One thing I would like to mention, that we should also, discuss the statement made by Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif in this meeting. He recalled Pakistan's position, the historical position on this issue. And, obviously he appreciated President Trump, and in return President Trump appreciated
as
our
usual
Prime Minister and the Field Marshal, and he recalled, his conversation with our leadership during crisis with India. And he mentioned again, I don't know how many times he had mentioned that Pakistan shot down about 11 Indian planes.
Who's
so I
giving
think
these numbers?
In our bilateral relations with the United States, such, the statements have never been issued by any US president about our leadership or about our relationship with India. So that is a big thing which has happened yesterday in Washington. We should not ignore that.
Yeah, but
you think you want to take it in a positive stride?
I think it is good, policy of our leadership to remain engaged with President Trump. That is very important. President Trump basically is a real estate tycoon. He has no regard for, morality, ethics, or other policies, in the working of the government. So we should be very careful while dealing with the U.S. administration, but it is good that we are engaged with the U.S. president.
This is what you're saying, but
Yeah.
you have to understand the American system is the president changes it after
every
4 years.
I know.
And it's not the country's policy. It is the president's, statements and the policies we're talking about.
Will
Will it continue?
In Washington, the U.S. president is the most important dignitary.
So we can enjoy for 4
as
years.
long
then.
as he is the president, we should focus him.
And then,
And I think our leadership has done the right thing. I must appreciate.
okay, yes.
Well, but my point is that our participation, Pakistan participation in the BOP has no parliamentary approval, nor it has even the cabinet approval. And Zahid Hussain yesterday was saying that it may be a trap for Pakistan and it would be difficult for Pakistan to get out of it. So we should avoid it.
Just
Okay,
final thing. Annoying the U.S. president will not be in our national interest.
There's nothing personal in this, annoying or not annoying, that's a different thing. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, the picture is emerging and media reports are coming that, around 12,000 police will be trained by the Egyptians and the Jordanians, which has been reported in the media right now. And similarly, we're talking about 20,000 troops in which certain names of the country from the Islamic world, I think Indonesia's name was there, and few more. So as the picture gets more clearer, then we know exactly that who's contributing what and what is our role and what are we contributing. Please keep watching Ambassador Lounge. Thank you very much.